Hi, Chuck Huber here for the Stata YouTube channel. I'd like to show you how to fit a simple linear regression model using Stata. So let's open some example data by clicking File and scrolling down to Example Datasets and click that. And then next click Example Datasets Installed with Stata. And we're going to be using the NLS W88 data, which is from the National Longitudinal Survey of Women from 1988. So let's click Use there to open these data. And let's take a quick look at the raw data by clicking the data editor icon here at the top in browse mode. And we're going to scroll over and look at a couple of variables. The first one is wage, which is wage measured in dollars, hourly wage measured in dollars. And the second is tenure, which is how long a person has worked at their current job. And we're going to see if there's an association between those two. So before I compute any kind of statistical models, I like to look at graphs of my data. So let's go under Graphics and select Two-Way Graphs. And in the dialog box in the Plots tab, let's click the Create button here. And we're going to leave Basic Plots selected, and as well as Scatter. And for my Y variable, I'm going to select Wage. And for my X variable, I'm going to select Tenure. And I want to check the box Sort on X variable. Now click Accept here at the bottom, and then OK. And I can see along my horizontal axis I have job tenure measured in years, and on my vertical axis I have hourly wage measured in dollars, and I have this cloud of points here. And what we're going to be doing is fitting a straight line through this cloud of points, a least squares line. Okay, so let's close the graph window now and click Statistics here at the top and scroll down to Linear Models and Related, and we're going to select the top option, Linear Regression. And for my dependent variable, I'd like to select wage. And then for my independent variable, I'm going to select tenure. I could select more variables, but for this model, we're just going to add tenure to the model. Now if I click OK, I can see the command is echoed in the results window here. So the command, logically enough, is regress. The dependent variable is wage, and the independent variable is tenure. Here in the top left, I have my ANOVA table, which has my model, residual, and total sums of squares, along with their degrees of freedom and their mean squares. On the top right, I have some other information, including the number of observations used in the model. I have my F statistic, along with the degrees of freedom for the numerator and denominator here. I have my p-value for my F statistic, as well as the R squared and the adjusted R squared. And then I also have my root mean squared error here at the bottom of the section in the top right. Now below that, I have my table of coefficients. The line here that says underscore cons is the intercept term. But what we're really interested in is the variable tenure. So that's this line right above it. The coefficient for tenure is 0.185 and change, along with the standard error of that coefficient. If I take the ratio of those two, I get my t ratio, or t statistic, along with its p-value, which in this case is 0.000 and something out beyond that. But we would generally consider that to be statistically significant. And then we also have a 95% confidence interval for that coefficient. And again, we would interpret our coefficient as each year increase in job tenure is associated with a 0.185 and change increase in hourly wage. Okay? So now that we've fit our model, we might like to compute some predictions and maybe graph that line. So let's go back under Statistics and scroll way down to where it says Post Estimation. And then I'm going to select Predictions, Residuals, etc. here at the top. Now I'm going to create a new variable called Predicted Wage. You can call it anything you like. Doesn't have to be predicted wage, but that seems logical enough. And we're going to produce the linear prediction, XB here. So let's click OK. And Stata issues the command predict, and it's going to create a new variable called predicted wage, which is the linear prediction from our model that we fit. And Stata reminds us that 15 missing values were generated when we did this. So now let's graph our linear regression line in our cloud of points and see how it looks. So let's go back to Two-Way Graph under Graphics. And rather than edit this graph, I want to create a new graph and overlay it. So still under Basic Plots, I want to select Line this time. And under the Y variable, I'm going to scroll down and select Predicted Wage. And then for my X variable, I'm still going to have tenure. And I'd like to sort this on the X variable. So then click Accept, then click OK. And now I see my scatter plot, and I also have my regression line graphed in with the scatter plot. Okay, so that's how we fit a simple linear regression model in Stata. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for stopping by.